So design thinking and agile core principles. Maybe it's become apparent that there are certain principles or mentality or approaches that are similar. If we talk about being agile as a certain mentality, we talk about also design thinking as a mentality approach, but also sometimes as a philosophy. It sets out in both cases more principles and values, and rather than prescribing processes. Design thinking is not a big documentation process. Being agile, if we stay in that idea of mentality, is not as well. But both are based on, for example, collaborative, cross-functional teams, focus on the end user, and they're very complementary in that way. And they're also well suited to combining, which I'll talk about in 1 second. Yeah, I think they both are good ways of moving forward, learning quickly, and a real big one, responding to change. So how do I then, how do I justify that, what I just have put forward there? Well, we go back to the Agile Manifesto. I think many of you know the Agile Manifesto. That's something for us Agile coaches that we can go back to and often find answers to questions that come up with teams in coaching situations. The Agile Manifesto has 4 key values, 12 principles, and was created in 2002 as a response to the inefficiency of traditional development methods that had and still have, in some cases, a lot of documentation. So looking at 2 of the value statements, this one, individuals and interactions are more important than processes and tools. It seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that individuals are at the heart of the design thinking process. That is, it is a user-centered methodology, as well as it should be, as stated here in the Agile Manifesto, that individuals and interactions take precedent over, or more important, not over, more important than processes and tools. Is this controversial for anyone? Or is this something that we kind of keep in the back of our minds when creating agile or using agile methods?
In my opinion, it's more important than processes and tools, but as well, I know Germans like to stick to processes and tools as well.
Mm-hmm.
They help a lot.
Because? What was that last part?
They help a lot.
Of course. I mean, without a structure or a process, you won't have results. It's a combination of the 2. Sometimes, depending on the situation, one may be more than important than the other. The thing is, what I notice is that people or teams tend to hide a little bit behind their processes and their tools. And they put them out there as the justification for certain results, instead of looking behind what's actually then going on in the interaction. And that's where I think something like this, kind of a shift in the questions that are asked, could be very useful. Also, not just for short-term results, but for long-term team collaboration. As an Agile coach, I know that there's often things simmering under the surface that it's very easy to hide behind the requirements of the sprint or what have you. here, it's good to recall that and to bring that up to mind. And in my case, my purpose in doing that today is to show you certain correspondences between and the Agile method design thinking and Agile mentality or being Agile. The second value statement that I want to look at is the collaboration with the customer is more important than contract negotiation. Collaboration plays a huge role in design thinking. I mentioned that we work in cross-disciplinary teams, and there's another big benefit of using design thinking not only for problem solving, but also in a bigger way for change management. Now, allow me a little diversion here from collaboration with the customer, which we talked about in some detail with personas and empathy maps, and insert this element or this content about change management. So design thinking is a form of culture change. Design thinking is a form of change management. And why is that? Because it's shaping those involved in the process as they shape new solutions. So working with design thinking has a number of more far-reaching benefits beyond solving complex problems or discovering new opportunities for innovation. And these benefits are by creating an openness and willingness to try new things. Again, this connection to being agile. In a design thinking team, we have a certain set of rules, and there is a respect at the eye level, so Augenhöhe. And this is something that's practiced throughout the either the workshop or the process through a number of very clear interventions. These interventions and then the rules help create a sense of psychological